Okay, you may start. Fazira.
Yes. Okay. Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Fyp1 binti Muhammad Zaini. I will present my FYP topic, which is design for safety in construction industry and benefits and challenges. Okay. This is the table of content that I will cover. For the introduction, in a construction industry, design for safety has been widely implemented due to the current of modernization improving security. Compared to other industry, the construction business is more vulnerable to accidents. According to Al-Barkani, major construction projects in Malaysia are subjected to unsafe conditions that can result in accidents and subsequently undermine the project safety results. Most study research about design for safety, or also known as prevention through design, has revealed that construction in Malaysia is aware of the DFS implementation. New development lies positively among the designers. However, the understanding the awareness of DFS and education, not all has emphasized the benefits and challenges of DFS. This study will use the previous findings regarding the DFS in order to identify the benefits and challenges in adopting design for safety in construction. Establish the conceptual industry, identify challenges in adopting design for safety in construction industry, and to establish the conceptual framework for successful implementation of design for safety in construction industry in Malaysia. So this is the benefits of adopting DFS for literature review. Previous study has stated that numerous research done have a positive result regarding the knowledge, attitude, and practices among the designer professional. The results showed that stakeholders are very supportive of the deployment of DFS. According to Krista Miller, study has shown that high DFS practice adoption is correlated with high DFS concept understanding and a supportive attitude towards DFS adoption among designers. According to Ibrahim, the stakeholders should play a big role in applying risk management and prevention principles, choosing the correct designers and organization in regards of occupational health and safety. Then the other research paper from Ibrahim, the way for the client, designer, or design organization to do an initial assessment for designers' prevention through design competency in construction is made possible. Last but not least, from Samsudin, PTD, which is stand for Prevention Through Design, contributes in business across the globe as a key players as a component of their overall management plan to lower the expenses related to workplace fatalities, injuries, and illness. Then for the challenges of adopting the FS, from Krista Miller, there are limited involvement between the implementation of the FS practices and designers' professional participants, designers' professional role, and the designers' organization range. From Goh and Chua, designers' current attitudes toward construction safety that caused by traditional contracts limit their capacity to take safety into account during the design stage. From Gambatis, there are lack of practical expertise and understanding of the advantages of the FS has also hindered successful deployment. Last, from Yap, the lack of occupational safety and health (OSH) in regulations and legislation contributed in creating the barriers to adopt DFS in construction industry. They established the conceptual framework for successful implementation of design for safety in construction industry in Malaysia. Given that the number of recorded construction-related deaths in these nations is among the highest, the growing interest in DFS and PTD was likely caused by the necessity to adopt creative methods of enhancing OSH performance early on. Additionally, it should be mentioned that Malaysia just issued a PTD-related guidelines and various efforts and initiatives towards PTD are now underway. In order to understand and design solution to a common risk associated with the design of a facility, there should be a solid understanding of the type of risk, the appropriate implementation and mitigation measures, and where appropriate, sufficient understanding by the design group. The appropriate implementation and mitigation measures need to be developed within the framework of all existing planning and project management models. This is the methodology that we'll use in this study, which is from propose the topic and then find the journal article by using the Scopus and Google Scholar with using the specific keyword, and then find the finding is limited to the developed country, especially in Malaysia. Then focusing to the objective of this study, which is reviewing on benefits and challenges of DFS. And the method using in this study is qualifying method. And the data collection that we'll use is survey and interview. So here is the proposed technique for this study, which is a set of questionnaire will be distributed to gather information from the respondents. The questionnaire proposed to be 3 to 4 sections in order to align with the objective of this study. And for the first section will be the question regarding gender, age, and field of work of our expertise. For the second and third section would be about the first and second objective of this study. And for the third section of the questionnaire, the question would be about how to establish the conceptual framework for successful implementation of design for safety in construction industry in Malaysia. The other way is we will use a technique of structured interview by interviewing the construction professionals with minimum of 5 to 15 years experience, and might also the professional engineers, architect, and quantity surveyor.
Lagging tak dengar lah Fatin. Line tak kuat ah. Puan Aisyah boleh dengar ke?
Saya clear dengar.
Itulah, dia hilang pula. Rasa dia punya line ni.
Itulah. Nak masuk Zoom pun susah juga ni.
Improvement on the regulation and legislation from the legislative. Doktor?
Ya, dah ke Fatin? Kami tak dengar lah tadi yang last. So, dah ke? You dah habis ke? Hello?
Hello? Boleh
Ah.
dengar?
Boleh.
Sampai mana tadi?
Tak apa. You dah sampai mana? Sebab kita dah nak habis ni 9:09. Okay. Masalahnya tak dengar lah. You boleh dengar clear tak saya cakap? Can you hear me?
Uh,
Can you hear me very clear? Susah juga ni kalau pakai line.
apa doktor?
You boleh dengar ke I cakap? Sebab better you receive our comment.
Doktor?
Boleh dengar ke saya
Okay.
cakap?
Boleh. Baru
So
clear.
sebab kita tak dengar yang you cakap apa.
Oh,
So
sorry.
it's okay. So dah habis lah?
Dah.
Okay, so kita let any comment daripada Puan Aisyah sebelum saya start ke?
Tak apa, doktor start dulu.
Okay. Alright, so thank you Fatin. Ada a few part yang I nak need you to improve. Okay, I already comment in your report. Okay, first untuk format report tu, I rasa you kena please check balik I rasa report you tu tak ikut format yang sepatutnya lah. Okay, and then
Supposedly yang 2 pages untuk cover page.
the content tu, part yang content tu. Dia tak ada footnote yang normal tu, yang biasa tu. Nanti you check balik. Dia ada basic punya format report. Okay, and then I tengok you tak ada research questions. Okay, terus ke objektif. Yang tu nanti kalau boleh you come out lah dengan you punya research question which is will answer by the research objective tu. And my concern is you punya research framework tu is too basic. Macam yang tadi you cakap teknik tu kan. It's good kalau you come out dengan research flowchart tu, research methodology flowchart tu with the how you want to achieve objective 1, objective 2, objective 3. Macam mana you nak achieve this objective? Patutnya you kena tunjuk in structured lah benda tu. Tapi I tak nampak. Yang flowchart yang you tunjuk tu too basic. Faham tak? Kalau
Dalam
boleh
metodologi.
dalam metodologi tu. Kalau boleh you highlight lah. Macam mana you dapatkan objective number 1 through questionnaire. Betul? Lepas tu objective number 2 through apa? And then macam mana you develop the questionnaire. Benda tu you kena align and then synchronize. Okay? I tengok you punya report sangat weak macam tak cukup. Expected outcome tak ada. Ada. Expected result tu. Tapi terlalu
And pendek.
macam general lah. You tak really detail out apa yang you nak sama dengan apa yang you nak buat tu. Okay, so I rasa you kena improve ni untuk FYP2 ni. Nanti you
Alright.
tengok balik dekat konten yang I bagi komen Alright. Okay, thank you. Puan Aisyah, any comment?
Um,
Ada tak? Aisyah?
So far tak ada. Nanti saya komen through ni lah. Dekat dalam form tu.
Okay. Alright. Okay, so thank you Fatin.
nak ambil gambar untuk bukti.
Okay. Buka Puan Aisyah, dia nak ambil gambar. So nak masuk siapa lepas ni? Aisyah Harin kot. Oh, okay, Hanisa. Okay.
Okay dah.
Alright.
Thank you,
Okay, thank you everyone.
Doctor. Thank you, Madam Aisyah.
Bye.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Alright, boleh left Okay, mana Aisyah Harin? Hanisa, you boleh share your slide? You boleh start terus sebab I tak nak delay. Nanti Aisyah Harin dia masuk.
Doktor dah inform
Dah.
Okay. Saya nak
Boleh?
saya nak kena tekan apa ya?
Tekan share lah.
Okay.
Kan?
Nampak tak doktor?
Okay, nampak? Buka first slide.
Okay. Alright. Saya boleh start
Yes. please.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. Greetings to Dr. Mazlina and Sir Shahrin. Will be here anytime soon. So I will be presenting my final year project proposal presentation, which titled Cost Restriction in Implementation of Building Information Modeling in Construction Industry for Small to Medium-Sized Enterprises in Klang Valley. My name is Hanisa binti Yasritul. I am under the guidance of technologist Dr. Nur Azmi Bakri. Okay. For a brief introduction for this proposal, in BIM is the new approach to view the construction industry, which provide a comprehensive processes and managing information, which benefits the architectural, engineering, and construction industry. So BIM provides a specific and accurate information such as project schedule, cost estimation, material inventories, and technical information on specific building construction. And BIM actually enables for stakeholders to view the progress of project, which promotes a special relationship and successful teamwork throughout the project's duration. It has been first initiated by BIM, by Public Works Department on 2007. However, there is observation that there are relatively slow adoption rate in Malaysia, as that shall bring to our problem statement, which is identified from past year studies, that there are 49% of industry players that have adopted BIM application in their construction project, but mostly are initiated by the large organization. And it is seen that BIM is more suitable for larger and riskier project, which may limit it to large organization. And then the second problem statement is, it is dominantly practiced in the center region of Malaysia. As you can see from the map I've put here, the northern side will have 4% as of 2019 from BIM report by Construction Research Information Institute of Malaysia. And the East Coast only have 20%, the southern part 3%, and the Sabah Sarawak and Labuan 4%, which in contrast to the central part of Malaysia, which shows a 69% of BIM implementation. And it is mentioned by Yaakob in his study, which he says that contractor of grade 1 until grade 6 has a low readiness due to financial issues and assessing technical issues. So this brings to our research objective for this final year project, which is the first is to identify the awareness level of BIM in Malaysia's construction industry by small to medium-sized enterprises. The second one is to identify the challenges related to initial costs that impede the usage of BIM in construction industry by small to medium-sized enterprises. And the last one is to find out the solution to cost challenges that the small to medium-sized construction enterprises face. Let's move on to our scope of work and limitation. Scope of work that will be done for this project is that to find out the cost restriction to small and to medium-sized enterprises to implementation of BIM. Hence, to guide this project, literature review and questionnaire surveys will be adopted to have to receive an input for this project. And for the respondent for the questionnaire survey will be civil contractor from grade 1 to grade 5. For the limitation, it is limited to Klang Valley area, and hence it will not be sufficient to represent the whole Malaysia to understand to put the whole understanding of cost restriction of small to medium size to the whole Malaysia. So it really just limited to Klang Valley area. So next, it is the significance of the study, what makes this study worthy to be indulged in. So this study actually this study actually gives the insight for the preparation of readiness to adopt a new technology to replace the conventional method. It also provides the view of construction company in Malaysia, especially to small to medium-sized organization. Other than that, it is to identify the awareness level, which can give you the knowledge about the problem and give clear direction on what to improve from the level of awareness. Other than that, it is to find the suitable plan or strategies to help this construction organization, especially small to medium size, to start adopting BEAM just like other developing countries. For literature review, we will start with the introduction of the BEAM. So it mentioned in Azhar and also by Muhammad, BEAM actually function as a physical representation through digital, where all relevant data regarding the project are stored in an online system, and all stakeholders are enabled to view the progression of the project with just one software. And for the traditional versus BEAM, to be compared, traditional, which is the AutoCAD, 2D CAD method, and BEAM, which comprises of 3D, 4D, 5D, and until now it is 6D. The design process by using BEAM has been evaluated to be 10% more quicker and 80% more accurate, which resulted in a lower percentage of errors and clashes during projects, which may save time and cost. So for the level of adoption, in BEAM, there is BEAM in Malaysia, the implementation rate is still progressively slow, and it has not captured the attention of construction companies, especially to small to medium-sized enterprises, which are the core of construction. Doktor dengar ke soalan? Hello?
Dengar.
Sekejap. Belum, saya tengah present.
Ya, siapa? Kenapa?
Saya sharing call saya.
Oh, okay. Cakap dengan dia tak apa. I ada recorded.
Okay. Sorry, doktor. Mana dah tadi?
Dia kata dia masuk tak dapat. Tak lepas.
Oh, okay. Saya teruskan je lah.
Ya, boleh.
Okay. For small and medium-sized enterprises, which are the core of construction key players in Malaysia, as there are almost 60% of them comprising the whole construction players in Malaysia, which are the remainings are the large organization. While BEAM in Indonesia shows that the BEAM adoption is still at the beginning stage, despite them knowing the benefits of BEAM. Whilst in BEAM in Sweden and UK, it shows that there is a quite rapid adoption rate in these countries, even though there are lacks of government regulations, and so like Sweden, but in United Kingdom, UK, the government actually create a BEAM standard and encourage their usage in construction industry. This shows that there are contrasts of difference between developed country and still developing countries, and which Malaysia falls in as still developing countries. All right, move on to the barriers that hinder the BEAM adoption. There are restrictions on financial. This is a general barriers to the BEAM implementation, which mainly for main barriers are people, process, policies, and technology. And the examples for the barriers is the restriction on financial, which are significantly mentioned in past studies. The higher short-term expenditure, such as bearing the cost of BIM software, may be too expensive, especially for small to medium-sized enterprises to bear. The next one is the lack of knowledge and skilled worker. The insufficiency exposure to potential young engineers to BIM causes the lacking number of skilled worker in the future. So the third one is the lack of government regulation on BIM implementation. So this is because the Malaysian government has not released any standard guidelines. Hence, there are no official submission of BIM materials to the authorities. So they did not implement BIM because of there is no need for them to submit the official material. So moving on to the cost profile of the BIM implementation. The high cost of BIM in deployment has a significant barrier compared to other barriers. Like I said, the laws, the regulations, the management issues, all this has been outweighed by the cost barrier of implementation of BIM, which the mostly mentioned are the cost of trainings. Most BIM software requires some sort of training, which increase the overall cost of software, which can be up to 8,000, including the 3-year subscription. And this is only going to be increasing year by year as updates by updates. There is a continuous of trainings that is needed for the workers. Hence, this is not a short-term cost that needs to be borne by small to medium-sized enterprises. Other than that, it is the cost of software, hardware investment. The required software upgrades, trainings and retrainings, as well as related indirect expenses may increase with time. Initially, the cost of software and hardware is already a high cost, especially for small to medium-sized organization. Hence, it is a high specification of hardware is needed for this software to run smoothly without any lagging, without any stopping of software during usage. Other than that, the cost of hiring expert, having someone who is well-versed to operation of software is needed. However, it will come with a cost that might be a burden for small to medium-sized enterprises to commit to a high salary payment every month. As for the legal issues, legal consideration for encouraging BIM adoption must be addressed, such as the concern of liability of inaccuracy, ownership of the model, and also licensing issues, which all this will cause a risk to financial. Okay, I will move on to this table. As you can see, the first table is the
Banyak ni Hanisa literature review. You dah nak habis ke?
ada lagi satu literature review slide. Kena saya baca je
You
terus.
proceed sebab dah 9:30 ni.
Okay. The first one is the BIM training. As you can see, the cost and the general hardware.
Okay, yang ni tak apa. Yang ni tak payah present lagi. Next. Next apa ya?
Okay,
Next.
okay. Okay. Ini
You patut highlight benda-benda ni tadi. Banyak. Literature review satu slide je. Tak perlu pun nak banyak-banyak.
okay.
So you nak guna apa?
Saya akan guna questionnaire, and then after dah dapat questionnaire punya result, I will use SPSS to run a pilot study. For pilot study, I will run cronback alpha test for reliability test to see that if my instruments are suitable to be given to my targeted respondent.
Okay, next.
For the actual study, I will use relative
Next.
index.
Dah habis? Lagi?
Okay, for expected result, we have a limited.
Alright, next. Habis dah?
Yeah, habis dah. Ni dah
Okay,
reference.
alright. So let me comment to your report. Dekat slide you ada mention dekat research framework flowchart tadi tu ada objective 1, objective 2, tapi dekat report you tak ada highlight. Okay. And you punya research objective, I rasa you kena tak boleh guna term to find out tau. Tak suitable. To find out the solution. Kenapa you nak find out the solution? Macam the terms tu you kena tukar.
Okay.
Nanti you revise. Dia bukan to find out, maybe to propose ke.
Okay.
To something like that. And then you identify awareness. Lepas tu you identify challenges. So semuanya to identify saja. Tak ada to analyse ke.
Okay.
So macam you punya aim of research to analyse, tapi semua tu untuk identify. Kalau identify, you nak identify then apa dia punya benefit, kan? Apa dia punya significant?
Okay.
Kalau you dah jumpa challenges, then so what? You nak find a solution, then where you can go for this value of the research tu. Benda-benda macam tu you kena highlight lah detail sikit. And then itulah yang macam flowchart tu, kalau boleh you kena mention objektif 1 macam mana you nak carry over, objektif 2 macam mana you nak carry over, objektif 3 macam mana you nak achieve. Benda tu kena clear. Then you kena explain dalam write up tu lah. Okay?
Okay.
So overall okay je. Alright. So I think we just wait for the report comment je. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Doktor.
Welcome. I nak suruh orang lain masuk ni. Okay, bye.
Okay. Thank you, Doktor.
Welcome. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning to Nazim and Dr. Nazira already joined. So I think Nazim, you may share your slide and you can start directly.
Sorry, madam.
Your sound is too far. Can you?
Yeah.
You may share your slide and then you just start, okay? So you have up until 9. You are supposed to finish 9:50. So make it quick, We try to make it 5 minutes for Q&A. Nazim, you punya voice, cuba you cakap. I wanna hear that. Slow sangat lah. Dah pakai mikrofon besar pun slow,
Itulah. Sekejap saya
Boleh dengar ke Dr. Nazira? Boleh kot.
Tak apa-apa deh.
Dah dengar ke?
Okey.
Sekejap
Nazira mana ni? Nazira mana? Kenapa ada dua?
Sekejap. Saya nak off kan.
Oh, okay. Okay, Nazim, you may start,
Okay. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nazim bin Muhammad Salihin. Before I start, I would like to thanks to Dr. Mazlina and Dr. Nazira for this opportunity for me to present my proposal for final year project 1. My title is The Use of AI Technology for Natural Disaster Management in Malaysia. So before I start, there are a bit of background that I want to talk, which is AI technology in natural disaster management is actually gaining traction as of it has the potential to defend people and property. And AI is the future of disaster management. This is my problem statement. Development of risk reduction program in Malaysia is inadequate. There are some studies done about in the context of Malaysia disaster management, which is DID. It stands for Department of Irrigation and Drainage. But in 2014 and 15, the results are not adequate as of it results to um, economic loss of around 2 billion ringgit in 2014-2015. Okay, this is my objectives. The first objective is to identify the current adoption and primary advantage of AI in utilizing AI in managing disaster in Malaysia. The second objective is to analyze the main challenges associated with utilizing AI-based technologies. And the last one is to propose mitigation strategies for the challenges. In my significance of studies, there are 6. The first one is to understand AI for disaster management, to express the need of proactive research, to determine the advantage using AI, to identify the risks related to AI software, and have better understanding of challenges using AI. And the last one is suggest mitigation strategies on the challenges. Okay, for my literature review, this is my conceptual framework, which is I will be focusing mostly on the first objective because there's so much things to read about the AI in general, and that's much I want to talk about literature review. Okay, my research methodology will consist of 5 stages, which is the first one is problem identifying, which is I mentioned before in problem statement. The second one is literature review. Stage 3 will be data collection, which I will be using a quantitative method in a form of questionnaire. Stage 4 is data analysis. I will be using SPSS, IBM. And last stage, report writing. Okay, this is my data analysis. I will be using SPSS. And Chromebook Alpha will be used as um, my excellency of the questions. This is my reliability test for all of the objectives. The first objectives has 0.921, which is considered excellent from the first table. The second and the third one has 0.7 something, which is fair to be considered, but due to the number of questions being low, number of items, there are only 3. If you are using Chromebook Alpha in determining the reliability test, number of item is actually very dependent, because higher the questions, the internal consistency is a lot higher. So this is my item statistics for the first objective. There's a lot of questions in the first objective, so I will be highlighting a few questions. B5 has the highest mean, which is 4.27. I cannot see this question. Okay, B5 is AI technology adoption rate still need to improve in managing disaster in Malaysia. This one has the highest mean. But B7 and B13 has the lowest mean. which is, I think, considerably due to respondents not having adequate information of AI. This is my item statistics for objective 2, which is are we distributing all of the questions here? C16 has the highest mean, which is many parties still need to understand experience using AI. The main challenges are like the respondents strongly agree on the C16, and C15 has the lowest quantity, has the lowest mean, which is large quantity of data is required. All of these are taken right from my literature review. That's why I have low. Okay, this is the last objective. Um, there's not a lot of things to talk, which is the number of questions. D17 has the highest mean, which is, it is the, I think it is the best strategies to mitigate the challenge. 16 is exposure to AI in educational system and can create familiarity among future engineers. Okay, this is my conclusion. As for the first objective, respondents strongly agreed on the current adoption level in Malaysia. This one, all of them answered around 4 something. So it is considered the first objective is achieved. The second point, respondents mostly neutral on questions of AI and software. I think this is neutral answer is due to the exposure of AI inside our country is practically still low. And the third also states the same, because the respondents seems to mightily agree on the advantage. This is due to the same outcome. The main challenges, respondents strongly agreed on the main challenges for utilizing AI in disaster in Malaysia. This is also shows that the second objective is achieved, and the biggest challenge is that respondents voted for limited experience and understanding. Because the first objective, they answered with neutral answer. And the last one, in the mitigation strategies, respondents strongly agreed on the proposed mitigation strategies for the challenge. This is also states that the third objectives also being achieved. I think that's all my presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Nazim. We will get a feedback from panel. So Nazira, Dr. Nazira, do you have any comment before I start?
Okay, I want to ask you, can you give me example the use
Yes.
of AI technology in disaster event in Malaysia? Any event, landslide, flood.
There are, I think there are two. Mostly on the research they are done in Kelantan River Basin, which use two types of AI. The first one is ANFIS, which stands for Artificial Neural Fuzzy Inference System. And the second one is LSTM. I think LSTM and ANFIS is considered general in AI because in elsewhere, in other country, they are practically being used widely. Okay, if I want to talk about ANFIS and LSTM, there's so much things. But if you want to hear, okay, Kak Madam.
Okay, macam ni, awak ada mention tak this case study dalam you punya thesis?
Ada?
Ada. You ada masuk sekali lah.
Ah,
Okay, then okay lah. So tak perlu explain lah. Just saya nak
okay.
tahu dekat mana yang guna AI tu dekat Malaysia.
Betul.
For example lah. So, okay lah tu.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Mazlina.
Okay, Nazim, I have a few recommendation to improve your report. I look at your
Okay.
research method. You punya flowchart tu too general. Okay,
Oh,
macam yang tadi you tunjuk dekat I, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3.
yeah.
It's too general. This why
Mm.
it's a very basic punya macam theory research method tau. What you have to do is you have to come up with your own research flowchart according to your research objective. Okay, so you have to show how you want to carry on your research objective 1. How do you want to achieve your objective number 2? This
Oh.
step you have to align with the theory ni lah. Sebab theory ni is a theory, so you have to come out. Okay, objective you nak buat apa? You nak buat questionnaire, then you have to mention. Okay, so benda tu tak ada dalam flowchart tu, tak ada. So I hope that your next FYP2 report this quite details. Okay,
Okay.
forward your research process flow tu yang betul-betul follow your punya research study lah, sebab different research different dia punya flowchart. Okay, you tak boleh ambil yang teori punya flowchart ni. Ni macam you buat RM punya report, bukannya you punya FYP1 report. Okay,
Okay, baik.
yang tu tolong highlight so you boleh je guna stage 1, stage 2, tapi the thing is specific. Masukkan you punya objektif, macam mana you nak achieve the objective 1. Dan you tak ada mention about sampling. You punya respondent tu siapa untuk you punya research ni? Respondent you siapa you cakap?
Mostly dekat public admin
Aha.
dengan construction.
Macam mana you nak identify these respondents? Pakai
Uh,
macam mana?
Macam mana yang tu
Semua
sebab
macam mana
I
you
distribute
macam mana you justify you nak guna public dengan construction punya siapa responden you tu, you kena highlight. Benda-benda ni you kena
Okay.
letaklah dalam satu topik. Sampling, data sampling, respondents, who is your respondent, numbers of respondents. Okay, I nampak you ada expected outcome, tapi I tak sure valid ke tak valid ke expected outcome tu. You ada tak jumpa expertise ke untuk validate you punya questionnaire, which is you punya questionnaire tu very general. Which the list of soalan tu you dapat daripada mana? Kalau you kata daripada previous journal, then how you want to make sure is really really valid to be conduct to do a survey. Okay, it's better for you to come up the proper research question tu dengan ada expert punya input. At least
Okay.
jumpa 3 expert, which is make strong lah. Kalau tak you buat macam short sendiri je lah. Okay, this is my suggestion that you can improve. Okay, before you nak dapatkan real data nanti, better you buat yang ni dulu proper. Dan nanti FYP tu barulah you punya data tu valid dan strong lah. Kalau tak nanti kita orang macam you all ni buat sendiri je. Suka hati je, main letak je soalan. Nazim,
Okay.
jangan main-main lah.
Baik.
Topik okey, cuma itulah kena buat in a proper way lah. Okay?
Okay.
Jangan general sangat. Alright, so I think that's all. Thank you. Boleh semua
Okay.
next masuk siapa okay, thank you Dr. Nazira. Kita ada Puan Nur Izzati, dia dah masuk. Boleh dengar ke Izzati?
Boleh.
So kita panggil Kristina Sekejap Mana dia Dia ada dalam grup kan?
Ada. Dia dah add ke belum ni?
Alhamdulillah. You dekat mana, Pasir Gudang
Betul.
Oh, you ajar apa
Ya, sebab kat sini ajar je macam-macam. Sem ni ajar survey.
Oh. Oh. Sebelah bilik you siapa?
Sebelah bilik saya. Maizi.
Tak kenal. Saya kenal Wan Syarizawani. Tu my batch lah. Firdaus, my senior. Firdaus kan?
Yes. Itu semua level 6. Saya level 5.
Oh.
Kiranya batch yang lain lah ni. Okay.
Siapa batch batch I dekat level 5 Easy Aunty ada?
Izzy nanti ada tapi tu dekat level 4.
Oh level 4. Oh,
Okay. Sorry lah doktor, hari ni saya kena bawa anak saya bising sikit lah sebab husband pengasuh dia meninggal pula. Tu yang macam hari ni lah pula nak kena
Asuh meninggal.
pengasuh ni husband
Oh,
pengasuh.
apa dia? Ya Allah, kesian
Ah,
dia. Kenapa?
sebab dia memang dah tua dah pun. Dia macam sakit. Biasalah dah dialisis semua tu kan. Buah pinggang kan. Dah lama dah.
Pengasuh tu pun tua lah.
Tua tapi anak dia yang jaga dia. Macam sekali satu rumah.
Faham.
Christina dah masuk ke belum? Belum.
Tak tahulah kenapa dia lambat ni.
Kita try message dia jap. Takut dia pun, yelah kita pun banyak group kan macam dah pening dah.